All right, gang. As you can tell from that sound, it's time for the weekly Mac Forum video chat. I want to welcome everyone. My apologies for last week. We missed the show because of some things I had going on. I want to apologize for that. Hopefully, you'll enjoy what we have for this week. And hopefully, I've got all the sound and tech issues set up correctly. So let's dive right into things. Got quite a bit on the show tonight. Might take a little bit more than a half an hour, but here we go. All right, first of all, I want to welcome our newest member. It looks like Megadrenaline, and that is one of several new members that we've had this week. I want to welcome all of them to our show and to the forum, and hope that they enjoy the information that they find. Most of this that I have in this week's show is things that I had all set to go for last week, barring a couple of last minute changes, etc., etc. So hopefully you'll find this information interesting. Most of it is still useful. Let's get right into things. First of all, let's get rid of the top site segment there. All right, here's a good one for you. As you know, recently, um, there was an article that's come out recently. There's been some information come out recently about people uh, being concerned about the amount of data that is gathered up by things like smart devices, smart televisions, etc., etc., etc. And basically, as you get these devices functional, what ends up happening is that um, things as the basically a smart TV or something of that nature will listen for a command to tell it to do something like change channels. And when that command is heard, it's generally sent off somewhere to a server to be processed and parsed for information. Well, that process sometimes will gather up all kinds of background conversations that the user particularly does not want to hear. And things like that have sparked some conversation in the forum about cybersecurity of these devices and cybersecurity in general. And there's a thread going. It was started. The initial post was made by member Rad Dave, and it's based on a USA Today article with some really basic information to avoid cybersecurity issues, cyber stalking, and all of that. And here is an outline of basically the tips that they present. Don't get phished. Phishing essentially is when someone sends you a message. It looks like it came from a friend or some other entity that you do business with, such as Apple or your bank or something of that nature. And it looks legit, and it tells you something like, we need to update your password. Please log in and check your security. You click on the link, and it takes you to a site that looks almost like the original site and collects information from you. And then that information can then be used to uh, do various things, including identity theft. Two-factor authentication is discussed briefly in that article. Secure web browsers, that means using modern web browsers. Those of you that are using Safari under older versions of the OS, say, if you still got 10.6, 10.7 running, the security features in Safari are out of date because Safari is one of those that gets updated for the most part when you update the operating system. So you want to be sure that the system that you use, the web browser that you use is up to date. Using strong passwords. Don't have, and I know we've all been guilty of this at some point in time or another, don't have all of your passwords have the same information. Installing security updates and patches. Using a modern version of the OS Encrypted messaging software will be a good idea for some people. Um, and some of the things mentioned in the article are a little more for those who are really, as it says, security tips for the mildly paranoid. I linked to the original article in the show notes and into this thread because there's some good discussion going on in the thread. The article that's linked to in the show notes does not give you specifics in terms of which programs to use or anything like that. It just gives you a general overview of this kind of issue. It's a very good thing to have handy and look over, particularly if you don't consider yourself tech savvy. Um, and also on this one, I want to show you something I did mention earlier in the forum that I was going to mention this thread. Member Matt Gig had a question about deleting personal information without reformatting the drive and whether it could be done. And the answer is yes, it can. And I'm going to give you just a real quick overview of how it's done here. First of all, what you're going to want to do, this process that I'm about to show you, it does not erase the drive. It will, however, get rid of things in a certain user account. And it also, now it doesn't delete applications unless that application is stored inside your user account. If the application is stored in the regular macOS application folder, then you're good to go. But you do want to, I think, do this from a backup. Now, what you're going to do, I'm going to show you this, but I'm not going to demonstrate the whole procedure because it would take a few minutes. And I don't actually want to delete my account to do this. But as you can see, I'm going to go to the users and groups preference pane, and I've got multiple user accounts on my machine. So I can demonstrate this without actually going through the entire process. First thing I'm going to do, as you can see, I have this particular preference pane locked. When I click the unlock, it's going to ask me for my password. You have to do this from within an administrative account. You cannot do it from a standard user or guest user, and you cannot do it from the account that you want to delete. So, for example, I could not delete my main account right now if I wanted to do that because I'm logged into that account. So I'm just going to use one of the other accounts for demonstration purposes here. Now, I've got an account that I've set up for basically for media streaming purposes. And if I accidentally mess this up, it's not going to cause any problems. So as you can see, let's assume this is the account that I want to delete. I'm going to go in and I'm going to click on that account. Okay, I have some options here. I can reset the password. I could enable parental controls. I didn't give this particular account administrative capability, but that doesn't matter as far as this is concerned. What I want to do now is I'm going to go to this minus sign right here. Okay, I'm going to click it, and it's going to tell me, you may not be able to read this in the screenshot, but it's going to say, are you sure you want to delete the user account? Okay, now you can save the home folder to a disk image. That is, if you're not sure you're going to need that information, you can save that to a disk image. All the information in the home folder would be saved. You can don't change the home folder. In other words, don't make any changes. Or you can delete the home folder. And once you click delete, okay, as you can see here, that is basically gone right now. Okay. Now I can take this, and it may take a while for it to delete. Okay. When you walk through that process and you tell it to delete, as you can see, it's gone. Okay. Anything that I had stored in that specific user account is gone with it. Now, I knew when I did this that I did not have anything stored there. Okay. I could also go to my iTunes backup and restore that user account if I wanted to. And just to prove to you that it's gone, all right, here we go. I'm going to go here and I'm going to look at my main hard drive. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look here. Let me just get to where I can see the drive, and I want to go to. I don't want to AirDrop. I want to go to the desktop, but I want to look at my main drive here. It'll take me just a second to get everything up and going. I'm going to get a couple things out of the way. These are some things that are going to come up for a demo in just a second. As you can see, I'm looking at my main drive here. Now, if that user account is still active, it would be right here, and it's not. As you can see, that user account, which was named Media Streaming, is gone. I have two troubleshooting accounts and a shared account there for you, and that's